You're now listening to Deadlock News.
This week is a knockout for Deadlock News. I'm your fighter, Daisy Powers. Let's get into it. Two big headlines in Deadlock esports this week. One great and one not so great. First off, in great news, the cream of the crop in European esports, the buff enjoyers, have finally been picked up by an org, VP. Virtus.pro now marks the first Tier 1 organization to enter the Deadlock space. Will this cause a landslide in organizations finally investing into the Deadlock esports space? We'll let you know. It's a good day to be a McGinnis fan. On the other side of the coin, let's talk about the not so good news that happened over with our friends at Deadlock Fight Night. Shout out. 10 times champions Hydro Nation were finally beaten by Llama Lords. Now, that in itself is not bad news, but the celebrations didn't even last 24 hours. Llama Lords called a meeting and found out that one of their players, PayPal, not the service, had been cheating. After this discovery, they immediately kicked him from the team and the win was forfeited. Deadlock Fight Night went out and said that the title went to Hydro Nation, technically undefeated, for the 11th time. It's the early times in Deadlock esports, so shout out to Deadlock Fight Night for dealing with this swiftly. Check out next week's installment to see how things go out in the ring. The gloves will certainly be off. Moving on from that, the Dead Air podcast is back and will be coming out a lot more regularly with special guests. Our first guest was SirActionSlacks from Dota fame. Spent nearly 2 hours talking about boomer talk of the olden days of Deadlock. So if you weren't there, or if you were there, you'll get a kick out of this one. As a DLN exclusive tease, I'll let you know that next week we'll feature 3 Clicks Phillip, so you won't want to miss that one. Mark your calendars for every Sunday when the Dead Air podcast releases on YouTube and Spotify. But let's bring it back to Slacks for a second. You may not know this, but he's racked up nearly 2,000 hours in the game and is in the top 100 for McGinnis in North America. Comment "wow" if you haven't already. Wow now! The classic. Though, Slacks, you better watch out because Slacks I'm Coming For You has entered the top 100 and is chasing you down. We'll keep you posted if he gets lapped. McGinnis aside, let's talk about Viper and the Year of the Snake. Happy Lunar New Year to all of you guys who celebrate. Slide into the Year of the Snake with your favorite Staten Island snake girl. Dead Air has also reached another milestone. We've now hit 20,000 subscribers, which is outrageous. Thank you all so much for your support and watching our videos. We appreciate you guys a lot and really wanted to highlight the Deadlock community, and shown here is a community member's work, Kokoro15, who creates amazing models. This stuff gets me really excited for the future of Deadlock merchandise. The link to her account is in the description below. Keep up the great work. But let's quickly talk about some gameplay for Deadlock itself. Since the last DLN, there was a huge rebalance to nearly every hero in the game. Whole lot of nerfs and a whole lot of tweaks. However, one major buff was given to Calico's cat. You can now press mouse 1 to meow. Now that's the cat's meow, literally. However, in serious news, spirit damage and how it interacts with objectives has been overhauled and has resulted in slower games. If you haven't heard about these changes or experienced them for yourself, I highly recommend that you watch our latest patch notice to get the full lowdown on the situation. The game might feel quite different if you haven't been reading the notes, so give it a watch and give it a try. But otherwise, that's pretty much it for this week. We have a lot of really great stuff coming up, so keep your eyes peeled on our content, and we'll see you guys next Monday.